Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a little bit different video style here. This is just basically going to be a montage and compilation of just a bunch of off-road clips of myself and Eric out in Moab the last couple weeks. This is going to be a lot of just off-road content from Kane Creek. The first part of the video is going to be sort of just on our way out there. Here we are just going up some small obstacles. We were just having fun, a couple dudes out in the desert playing with four-wheel drive. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll do a little bit more vlog style stuff here in the future. We've got some really exciting content that we're going to be working on moving forward. We just the back half of 2020, it just kept us pretty occupied. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video. So here we have just entered into Kane Creek. Kane Creek is a 13.7 mile trail that it's rated as difficult. So when we entered into this thing, it was sort of one of those trips or those trails where it wasn't really intended to be on that day's agenda, but it seems to be how it goes sometimes. So anyway, we ended up taking Kane Creek, and the first 10 or so miles is pretty moderate. I mean, our Tacoma has got 33s. It's got a locker in the rear. It's re-geared. They got 1/4-inch steel skid plates front to back. So up until that 10-mile mark, we really didn't have any issues, with the exception of a couple pretty sharp and tight 90-degree turns. But after we got past that, like I said, about mile 10, it gets interesting. So we'll get to that here in a minute. if you're watching this video, you've either already been to Utah at some point or parts of it, or you're considering going to Moab and doing some trails and some sightseeing, maybe some camping. I just want to point out that Utah is probably one of the coolest states that we've had the pleasure of visiting, and we've been there several times. But Moab is just very, very unique. It's an off-roader's paradise, or an adult playground, if you will. Everything about it just super cool. There's just so many just sights that just blow your mind in every direction that you look. Plus, you get to drive over cool stuff like we're doing right here. So if you are considering it, make it happen. It's totally worth the trip, trust me.
Axle's hitting on a rock, so you need to come straight towards me.
Okay, if you're still watching the video, I just wanted to point out real quick, this is probably something that you stumbled across and you're probably wondering if you're capable of doing it in your vehicle. So it is doable in a full runner or a Tacoma or something that has got rock sliders and skid plates and a 33 and a locker. However, I'm telling you right now that it is extremely, extremely difficult, the back half of this, and it might not be recommended to do it if this is how you are equipped. I think this trail would be more ideal for something on 35s or even 37s locked front and rear. However, we did do it, but it is very difficult, and we did bend up skid plates and stuff like that. So take that into consideration if you are going to attempt Kane Creek.
For loving you, oh, but they don't know you like I do. Nothing but tiny minds in this tiny town.
Okay, so here is the first real, I guess, challenge that we had to face or maneuver ourselves around here. This is doesn't look like it here in the video, but this is a very narrow section, and right up here in front of us there's a sharp, almost 90-degree turn, and here on the passenger side it's a pretty heavy drop. People before us have filled in with rock, and you see the passenger is basically rubbing the slider already right there, and then there's not a whole lot of room on the driver's side because you can see my wheel was almost hitting that rock down there. It made it challenging because there wasn't a whole lot of room on my driver's side to drive up and over that rock, so we had to just basically force our way through in the best angle that we could, with that back side not really having a lot of room to swing over to allow me to make that turn. So yeah, fun spot to start the trail off with. This was about 3 miles in, I would say 3.5 maybe at most. So you can see that, I mean, if I had, you know, a 35, maybe a 37, a little shorter wheelbase, I probably could have driven right over that rock right there, but there's just no way I could have got the nose of that truck up over that rock on the driver's side without it still eating the door on the passenger side or just tipping over, because where my passenger front tire is right there, that's a pretty substantial drop compared to where the driver's side front tire is at. So unfortunately, we did get into the passenger side front and rear door just a little bit, right about there actually. We had kissed it right before we got through, but you know, we were able to make it through. You know, and that's again probably just not having the absolute best line, but we made it work. We got a little battle wounds and something to remember Kane Creek by. So yeah, fun times. Oh my goodness. I wish that this video would do it justice for you guys, but Eric and I did Kane Creek. We are on Kane Creek. We've done 9.2 miles of it. It's 13.7 total. And this has been, honestly, you know, probably one of the most challenging trails I've ever done in the Tacoma. And truthfully, Tacoma probably shouldn't be out here. There was several issues or several spots where we hung up, skid plate sliders, the ass end slammed, rear diff. I got into this passenger side door. So we've had some fun today, but that's the whole object of it, right? Kane Creek, my blinkers on, several creek crossings. We've got 2.5 miles left of this, and it's the hardest part of the trail. And what we've already done was pretty dang hard.
Interesting.
Yeah, so all right, let's go see what the rest of this thing's got. Okay, when I told you guys this was the hardest part of the trail, I'm genuinely a little nervous that we might be stuck out here. Again, video never does justice, but this is gnarly. Super rocky, super steep. Okay, so before we get into this next section, this is at about mile 12.1, I wanted to say it was. And this section of Kane Creek is called Hamburger Hill. And this was the most challenging thing that I've driven this little Tacoma on by far since I've owned it. It was super aggressive. It was super rocky. The rocks were massive throughout the entire little section of this part of the trail. It was one of those things where it took us about 5 hours to get to this section, and it was not really an option to go backwards because we would have been on the trail at dark. If we would have attempted to go forward and didn't make it, we would have been there at dark. Fortunately, there was 2 Wranglers ahead of us that had already made it past, and they had a tough time doing it, but they offered to winch us up if we couldn't make it, so we went for it. And well, let's get into it. What's your tire pressure at? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay, hold up. You're gonna need to back up just a bit.
He's teetering on his differential. This wire's off the ground.
Okay, gotta give credit where credit is due. Eric Castillo is the man right there who's putting rocks into the truck so we can keep moving. He's the one that had been spotting me the entire day, actually the entire week we're on this trip. All of the footage from this video was recorded by him running around all day long up and down hills, not only in Kane Creek, but on Vins and Things, top of the world. He ran his ass off. So, go down in the description, click his link for his Instagram, give him a follow, comment on his sick F-150, and show that dude some love, guys. He deserves it.
Slow it down, but keep going. Sorry, keep your momentum. Momentum to here and then stop when you're flat. There you go. Nice. Okay, now you.
That's good right there for now. Let's talk about how you go to roll.
Okay, right. Driver. That's good. That's good. Keep going. Okay. Hold up. Reverse. I sent you too far, passenger. You're fine. Just reverse it. Okay, right there. Now driver a little harder. You just slipped off the edge of that rock. You're good. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Okay, drive, passenger. There you go. Yep, you're good. You're on your slider, but you're good. Yep, you're good. Keep. Yes, perfect. 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 Just come straight up. Momentum and straight up. Momentum. Yeah.
Ouch, that sounded terrible, right? Well, we are fully sponsored and protected by CBI Off-Road. I'll put the link in the description. They've got all kinds of different products for different vehicles, front bumpers, rear bumpers, skid plates, bed racks. We have the Toyota Tacoma full overland skid plates in steel, and they are in black. But swipe up on that description below. We do get a small commission to help keep our adventures rolling and to keep our Tacoma safe. So by you making that purchase, it helps us out to keep on having fun.
There you go. A little more momentum. There you go. There you go. There you go. Go. Nice. Keep going. Don't stop till you get up there. That was nice. Great one there. Wow. Nice ride. That was good. Yep. So
Let's put some rocks in there.
He doesn't have a locker front end. Okay, stop where you're at. Come straight up here. Right now, turn sharp. Passenger. That's good. Right there, come. Yeah. There you go.
The three-wheel motion was.
Okay, so this is pretty much the end of Hamburger Hill on Kane Creek, which again was the hardest section of this entire trail. The rest of it is pretty easy, I would say, up until the very end. There is a 48-inch ledge that is tough to get over, so stay tuned for that.
Driver. Straight. Right there. There you go. There you go. Go passenger. Back tire's gonna drop off big. You fucking sent it.
Still rolling?
Yeah. Yeah. Passenger. Come up, come up. Straight. Little bit driver. Little bit driver. Got it, go, 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 go. Yeah.
I missed that though.
Okay, so coming up on this next clip here is the very last obstacle of Kane Creek, and it is a 48-inch or so ledge, and there's no way up or around, I guess would be the better words, than to go over it. So again, something that was a little shorter wheelbase on a 35 or 37 would probably drive right up it. However, I'm a little longer, so it didn't work out that well for me. So I had to winch over this. So just keep that in mind if you're going to attempt this. The very end, have somebody with you or have long enough recovery equipment to winch yourself over this.
it.
Yeah. It's a worse spot than earlier. It's a worse spot than earlier.